when people get fearful, I get greedy. And when people get greedy, I get fearful. Some of you may know that that is the great Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of our generation, actually the last couple generations, as old as he is now. That is a famous quote that's been attributed to him many times over the years, and it really speaks to the core of his investing philosophy, right? Another way that I like to say it is that when people zig, I try to zag, and when people zag, I try to zig. It's kind of another way of saying the same thing, right? So, that I feel like is very apropos for what we're experiencing right now, just in the general sentiment across our country right now, right? This is the day after Easter, April 21st, here 2025, and this is Andy Linkty with Andy Linkty Associates, a part of FC Tucker, coming to you with the monthly market watch that we do, and certainly with all of the talk of tariffs, and the S&P now is down. We're basically in bear territory now. It's down 19 or 20% from what it was since the start of the year. There's a lot of people flipping out. We've seen actually interest rates go up a little bit as well too. So there's certainly a general sentiment in the market, even much different than 30 to 45 days ago. And the general sentiment is, what in the hell is going on, right? And one of the things I've learned over the years is that a confused mind always says no. And I think right now, what we have right now in our market in general, because of all of the stuff that's going on, we have a lot of people that are confused, and that can actually be a very lethal form of paralysis. And what I like to do, and it's just my heart of being a teacher, right, is I like to educate people, to give them an idea of where we're really at in the landscape, and really look to the wisdom of people that are smarter than us, and to the facts and the information of what history has said, to help clarify what the future will be. Because the fact of the matter is, the wisest man who ever lived, King Solomon, said there's nothing new under the sun, right? And even now with all this fear and uncertainty and some of the economic pullback that we've had in the last 30 to 45 days, this is nothing new under the sun. Second verse, same as the first, right? And so I think sometimes it's easy to lose our collective head, so to speak, and be fearful. But what we've learned from the astute over the years is, when everybody else is kind of losing their head, when you keep yours, when people are scared, if you press forward, that a lot of times is really the genesis of opportunity, and the chance to really alter the trajectory in a positive way of what your long-term future looks like. So I wanted to kind of share that with you, and also want to give you some data. Of course, the typical market stuff that I always share with you each and every month, but I also want to give you kind of a broader context here in Central Indiana. So if you or someone you know is looking to make a move, and maybe you're scared right now, maybe you're thinking, I was maybe going to move this year, but gosh darn it, like I'm just scared. What can you do to kind of sort out fact from fiction, fear from kind of reality, to be able to craft the decision that's best for you? And maybe it will be that you maybe want to wait a little bit, but how can we do it while we're running towards something and not away from something else, right? So, because the one thing I've learned over the years is the most precious commodity we have is time. You cannot get it back. Celebrating Easter this weekend with my family. My oldest is almost 16. My youngest is down to 3. A lot of you know that I have 7 kids. And just seeing them and just seeing the growth and the changes, we really don't have much time on this earth. And I tell you what, I don't want to live in fear of worrying about what's going on, and not do what's ultimately in the best interest of my family, even if it scares me. So that's my hope, and that's my message for you today. And I'm going to try to give you some information, some data that, again, maybe just provide some wisdom and clarity for you as well too. So general data since 1950, so that's 74 years worth of data in the United States. Home prices have only gone down 7 times in that 74-year time period. So over 90% of the time, home values go up. You'll see here when we talk about the market data, home prices are still going up right now here in Central Indiana. I believe to the tune of 5.4% compared to a year ago. If you're thinking about moving and you're scared based on what's going on, keep in mind of, real estate doesn't go up indefinitely all the time. There's fits and spurts along the way, but 90% of the time it goes up annually, and certainly year over year from a broader perspective. The best time to buy is now. Some of you have heard me say, and I say it all the time, don't wait to buy real estate and wait. The other data that I find interesting as well too, there's no doubt that as interest rates have creeped up and prices have still remained strong, that is really concerning for people, and that's giving people a big pause button. But according to Forbes, did you know that Indianapolis is the 6th most affordable major metropolitan market in the United States? The 6th most affordable. So we live in a market, unlike out on the coast, unlike maybe in even some parts of the South and in Texas, where people were flooding and a few years ago, and they kind of got pushed up artificially high. There's not a lot of artificiality in what we have going on here. We're still, from the broader standpoint, one of the most affordable major markets in the United States, which also usually means, and this happened during the Great Recession as well too, back from 2008 to 2012, we did not really see home prices dip, maybe just slightly, but not a whole lot. And I believe whatever the future holds in store right now, I do believe the long-term track record of Indiana being flat-lined a little bit, maybe going up by the cost of inflation, or maybe down by the cost of inflation a little bit. That may happen in the short term, but in the long term, it's a slow, steady investment that is still going to drive people here to Central Indiana, because it is a great place to live and it is an affordable place to live. So those are things that I just want you to think about as you're trying to get clarity on your situation. Now, for the specific data, we certainly have a lot more choice in the marketplace than we did a year ago, and certainly than 4 years ago. Now, I'm going to talk about that here a little bit. But in Central Indiana, this is for March statistics, since we're at the end of April now. We don't have April's data yet, but March statistics, the amount of inventory in Central Indiana was up 20.7% from a year ago at that time, and home sales also are up 3.7%. So they're not going up as fast as inventory is, but home sales are still going up. And as I mentioned before, home prices in Central Indiana are up 5.4% for the year. Hamilton County, the number of available homes is up a little bit less. It's only up 6.9%, and home sales surged 15.7% more than they were a year ago in Hamilton County. And again, the average homeowner in Hamilton County, they also saw the home value go up 5.4% in the last 12 months. Marion County, 23.1% more homes for sale, 3.5% more sales, and your appreciation was 3.8% over the last 12 months. So when we scan that out over to 4 years, actually I'll take a step back. So what we're seeing is we're still seeing inventory continue to grow, and home sales are staying pretty solid right now here in Central Indiana. There's not a huge difference. That's actually a little bit more than a year ago, but the speed of the market's a little bit slower because we have even more inventory that's hit the market. Now you compare that to 4 years ago, right in the throes of COVID, right? That would have been in March of 2021, right? It's a totally different ballgame right now. So we have in Central Indiana 148.5% more homes for sale now than we did 4 years ago. That's over 2,500 homes more for sale now than 4 years ago. Hamilton County is up 125.5%, and Marion County is up 107.6% from 4 years ago. So again, we have more than double the inventory. In a couple of instances here in Central Indiana, we have almost 150% more inventory on the market. That's pretty crazy. And even with that, home sales are down from 4 years ago. So even though we have 150% more homes for sale, we do have a fewer number of sales compared to 4 years ago. In Central Indiana, we have 12.1% fewer sales. Hamilton County, 11.9%, and in Marion County, 15.1%. So even though we have over 2,500 more homes for sale in Central Indiana this past March than we did 4 years ago, we still had 408 fewer sales. So again, a very different market than we were than 3-4 years ago, where we were just starving for inventory. Again, we're still historically a little bit less than inventory than some of the available homes for sale pre-COVID, but tremendously more than 4 years ago. So we're getting into a more normalized market right now, and that's also shown with the fact that both in Hamilton County and in Marion County, the average days on market for homes over the last 90 days or so has been 42 days. The average homes on the market 42 days in Hamilton County and actually 43 days in Marion County, and the average sales to list price ratio has been about 98.7% in those two counties. So again, if it's a $100,000 home, that means on average it's sold for $98,700. Now, when you're going to get a $100,000 house, you're not really going to get that, but that gives you a perspective there with that. So I hope you found this information, and I hope you found this perspective helpful and encouraging. We're in an interesting time, and fear can prevail, but one of the things that's stronger than fear is hope, right? And my hope in sharing this information with you today and these facts is to just give you more clarity and more peace on maybe where you or somebody where they're at, and maybe their home buying or home selling journey. And if you know somebody that wants this information, I encourage you to subscribe or to follow along, share this with them, and just pass along this data and this wisdom that can give them peace and that can give them clarity. And if they want to work with a professional and a team that, I've been here for over 20 years. I was through the Great Recession. It was actually a really good time for my business, to be very honest with you. And I see interesting opportunities that are starting to abound now as well. So if you want to work with a realtor and with a team that really has the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the perspective to help get you where you want to go, regardless of the market dynamics, we would love to serve you. And as always, we're never too busy for your referrals. Thanks so much.